Another day, another load of VAR nonsense. Manchester City beating Bournemouth 3-1, and I'm absolutely delighted. A huge result and a very edgy, very tetchy game of football, but we finally got the 3 points, and that is literally all that matters at the end of the day. But I want to say thank you as ever to One Football. They were getting the notifications through during that game. I've seen all the VR nonsense unfold. As you can see as well at the side of the screen, you've got all the stats there. We can go check out all the details of the game. They've been sponsoring me for ages now. They're a fantastic app. They're my favourite app on the market, bar none. So go and download it in the link in the description below for all your Manchester City news, your goodness and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, One Football. But let's dive into this game. Oh, this game of football. Yeah, this was an interesting game of football, was it? I'll go into a little bit of kind of like the overview beforehand. Obviously, this was a game built on the foundations of last season where Bournemouth famously had 0 shots at all during this away game. Manchester City totally dominated last year. Even though they only won 1-0, Bournemouth failed to register a single shot wide or on target in the game. So there was always that hanging over the game. And I always, as a result, expected a bit of a reaction from Bournemouth. And that came to pass in the end. They did have plenty of shots. They went at Manchester City in the end. And it was a lot looser game than we expected it to be. This was also a game marred by a little bit of surprise news beforehand. We saw no Gabriel Jesus picked up a hamstring injury and likely to be ruled out until after the international break, which is a bit of a shame, of course. No John Stones, as we all know about his injury beforehand. And it was only basically, it was a pretty predictable team, really. We had Edison in goal, we had Kyle Walker at right back, Otamendi and Laporte there, and Zinchenko. The back four kind of picked itself. The big surprise, though, actually was Gundogan being brought in, I guess, or maybe David Silva was brought in for Rodri. Either way, there was no Rodri. Gundogan at the number 6, and David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. David Silva obviously making his 400th appearance, I think it was. Either way, a legend of the game. Yeah, it was 400 appearances, but Kevin De Bruyne alongside him. No Mahrez, Bernardo on the right, Sterling on the left, and Sergio Aguero through the middle, given the fact that Gabriel Jesus was injured. So it was kind of predictable, really. Just Rodri, the only surprise, I guess, but there was always going to be a game where he sat out. I think we thought we'd had enough in this game to maybe take the game to Bournemouth, but it didn't really pan out that way. Into the first half, we started pretty sloppy. Edison and Walker on a mad one early on, clattering into people and that kind of stuff. Walker got himself booked. Could have been sent off with a mad referee. Though having said that, people say that, it could have been 2 yellow cards, but you forget, obviously, time isn't like that. If he'd got the yellow card for the first challenge, he probably wouldn't have done the second one, and the game would have unfolded differently. So those arguments are always a little bit, whatever. Then eventually, though, after that kind of weird start, we scored. Basically, Aguero kind of got the goal. I think it was Sterling cut back, an assist for Kevin De Bruyne from a scuffed shot, and Aguero stabbed it home, kind of put it in with his left foot. I think that was Kevin De Bruyne's 50th assist. He became the fastest player in Premier League history to reach 50 assists, like 22 games faster than Mesut Ozil. An absolute beast of a player. Even if this one was scruffy, indirect, and totally unintentional, they all count, and he got that. City after that, we were okay. A good kind of hook shot from 20 minutes in from David Silva, nearly got the second. Then after that, there was a massive kind of delay. Unfortunately, Charlie Daniels went down with a serious injury. It looked like an ACL on his knee. Totally innocuous, no one's fault, really. Some people are saying since then, and maybe it could be a dislocated kneecap, which is a lot less serious than an ACL, so fingers crossed it's the less of the two evils there. And then he went a bit crazy, basically. City kind of lost their heads a little bit. Bournemouth started to push in. We totally lost our control, which was epitomised by Otamendi kind of chesting it down to no one, and Edison making a save after, I think, who was it that stabbed it towards the goal? I can't even remember, but they should have really scored in that goal. They got the goal eventually, though. But we'll get onto that in a minute. City actually went down the other end and punished Bournemouth for missing that chance. It was another beautiful goal. Basically, Laporte, diagonal pass. It worked away into the middle to David Silva. He played a delightful, sumptuous through ball to Raheem Sterling, who finished with aplomb. He wasn't offside this time. No one could have stopped that goal with a lovely finish. His 5th in 3 Premier League games. He's absolutely on fire. And then they got a goal. And there's not much you can do about a goal of that quality. The free kick itself, Harry Wilson, just sublime. A peach. Absolute pearl it into the top corner. You can't stop those goals. All you can say is fair play, well done. A lot of people would say maybe the free kick was soft, and it was soft. Some people said maybe it wasn't a free kick as well. All I know is that a general kind of consequence of how City play with aggressive, trying to win balls back, will make us give away some fouls that look a little bit kind of soft or a bit silly at times, or unnecessary. But the flip side of that is if he'd won the ball, we're countering away, and we're going to maybe create a chance and goal score. So it's these risks and these percentages that City sometimes play, and sometimes it'll happen that we don't get it quite right, but I can't complain. Anyway, eventually the second half came around. it kind of carried on really as the first half ended. It got really, really scratchy. Bournemouth had a couple of chances. City had a couple of half chances. A Silva snapshot. Sterling nearly got onto a Bernardo Silva header, and then they scored. Then they should have scored. Sorry, they didn't score. I'm rewriting history there. Edison saving really well from a Callum. I think it was Callum Wilson through and goal. Thing is, though, that the football completely changed then from one end to another. We totally counted down the other end. De Bruyne played a lovely 1-2 with Aguero, and he should have put the game to bed there, but he didn't. And then all mayhem broke loose with the clearest, most obvious, clear and obvious, I'm using those words because they are the literal definition of the rules there in terms of that sense. A penalty and David Silva just not given. And what more can we say now as football fans? The stress glasses are off. Then, like, what can we do when this happens? You know, when we see something that obvious, that clear, and it isn't given. David Silva went through, and his foot was totally and utterly, by every sense of the word, just stood on. You know, it was a clear and obvious foul. The referee totally and utterly missed it, and for some reason they said, that's not enough to overturn it. What is the point of the VAR rules if that is going to be ignored? Genuinely, what is the point of that? It was shocking. I'm absolutely livid. It feels constantly like these rules are made up as they go along to suit the teams. Shocking stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the slightest, and I said this last week's video again, but you don't blame some City fans for feeling that way when you see something so obvious like that not given. What are you meant to say to that? You don't have to go, oh, it happens. It doesn't happen. These refs sat there viewing the camera, seeing what everyone, you got Bournemouth fans tweeting going, that's a penalty. You got Liverpool fans tweeting going, that's a penalty. You've got everyone tweeting saying that's a penalty. You've got everyone in the world saying it, and it's not given. Why? What are they doing? Now, there's always this debate about, don't blame VAR. And you know what, they're right. The tools obviously are there to be useful. But at the moment, you can blame VAR because VAR and the cameras, they're one and the same. The technology can work, but the assistants and the people using it, they're just not fit for purpose at the moment. It's a shocking implication of what it's going to be. And if VAR has to exist, it has to change drastically because the current state is shambolic. It's embarrassing. It's genuinely embarrassing to football and the game as it stands. As it is, City scored an anger goal. A genuine fuck you to the VAR rules and to the referees with Sergio Aguero chasing onto David Silva's, scrapping us in the area and winning the ball and prodding it home for 3-1. After that, that was actually, by the way, after Rodri come on. I'm going to put Rodri totally nutty. It was after Rodri came on. Someone will correct me on that. But Rodri, when he came on, he was the kind of calm, steady influence that we needed to cool Manchester City down. And after Rodri came on, we were totally and utterly in control of the game. We saw a few minutes as well from Cancelo as a little kind of last-minute debut as well, which is interesting. But back to VAR. I'll go into it at the end. Shocking. On to the individuals. Edison was absolutely crucial in this game. Genuinely, apart from his mad moment where, I'll give him it because he's bald now. I think it was just some rush of blood to head because he looks like a thug. He could have got himself probably not sent off. That would have been stupid because he was nowhere near goal. It's not a goal scoring opportunity at all. He got a yellow card. After that though, fantastic. Some brilliant saves from one-on-ones. Some fortuitous. He just hit his head, went over. But that was a big save. He was there where he needed to be. And he kept us in it, really, if we're being honest. I'm not in it, but, he kept it from being a lot closer than it could have been. Right back, Kyle Walker, a weird game. He was a bit rash, if we're being honest. I think Kyle's been fantastic recently, but today, it wasn't really his best game at all. A little bit sloppy in possession. A little bit I don't know, is he on steroids? No, he's not on steroids. Disclaimer, I'm joking, but he seemed poor up. I don't want that to go around legally. But he was just so hyped up that he was totally and utterly everywhere. Otamendi had an Otamendi game. Some moments good, some nice passes. One moment where he chested it down. But the jitters went through the whole defence, to be honest. Laporte, though, pretty solid. I mean, one of many, not perfect, but he was decent. He played some lovely balls to break through the lines, as he always does. A couple of nice passes. Zinchenko alongside him got beat a couple of times, got smacked in the face, but it was a decent little performance for him. Not the levels he's capable of, but okay. Gundogan is a nice footballer, but I think his usual game of least keeping the ball kind of let him down a little bit today, and I couldn't have been more delighted when Rodri came on. Gundogan was being run past consistently and frequently. De Bruyne was a weird one. A couple of moments where you think, well, that's De Bruyne, what he can do, but he just a bit passive today, Kevin De Bruyne. He just his weight of pass wasn't off. He didn't control the game in the way he usually does. When you've got the high levels of Kevin De Bruyne, you when he drops down to a 6 or something like that, you notice it quite starkly. And today, he was nowhere near his best. But it happens, I guess. He still was a decent. It was okay. It was a 6 out of 10. You want more from Kevin De Bruyne though. David Silva, I thought, was our best midfielder. He was in between the lines, causing so many problems. The amount of passes he played, a lovely assist, and rightfully, in my opinion, the man of the match. He could have had a goal or two, but he was absolutely absolutely everywhere, and deservedly the man of the match, in my humble opinion. Sterling, pretty quiet, wasn't really fed much, got a lovely goal, 5 goals now in 3 games, current top goal scorer with Pookie, my favourite Pokemon. Pookie and Sterling top of the goal scoring charts. Who would have called that a few weeks ago? Absolutely crazy. But he continues to be useful and score goals, even if he's not at his very, very best. He wasn't scintillating, but I don't think the team was scintillating either. Bernardo, functional on the right, worked really hard. I don't think he was as good as he was against Spurs. And Mahrez maybe felt a little bit unlucky once again not to get a start. I think Mahrez will start against Brighton. Mahrez came on, had a good cameo as well. I thought Mahrez, fair to him. He was lively. He won the ball back with one nice little pass as well, which caused the counter-attack. So I think he'll get a game. Aguero through the middle, couple of goals. That's Sergio. 400 goals now in his career. Sergio Aguero just keeps on scoring. He was a lot better than he was the other day. Some nice little link-up play. Still a little bit hesitant, not the sharpest, but 2 goals. He could have had a hat-trick maybe on another day. A decent performance, and we got to see Cancelo make his debut. Nothing to note other than he gave the ball away. He had his Rodri versus West Ham moment, but that will quickly be knocked out of him. I'm absolutely sure. But overall, frustrating, genuinely frustrating, because even though we won 3-1, it's just this spectre of VAR hanging over us, and the inconsistency and the confusion. Fans don't deserve this, and the fucking teams don't deserve this. Sort it out. It's absolutely shambolical that the game at the moment is just being kind of just guessed and winged like this. There's no one that wants it to be like this, VAR. I mean, if VAR is going to be a part of it, it just has. This is not even like, a 6 out of 10 performance so far. This is like a 2-3 out of 10 from VAR. It's diabolical. It's absolutely, utterly pointless. It's change for the sake of change so far. If it's going to be there, it has to be useful. What is the point in having a system like this if it isn't going to be used to actually help the referees? They're too scared to overturn the referees. I want to know, in that box there, what are they saying? When it gets to that decision, they look at him stamping on his foot. What are they saying? Are they going to go, yeah, it's a foul, but, whatever, mate. Just don't worry about it, So I was thinking, they're coming from, it's cool. Just leave it, because it's not that, If you didn't see it. What's the point? I know it's a foul, but forget about it. It's just, they're going to win anyway. Don't worry. What are they saying? It's total and utter nonsense, because no one can see that. If any referee can see that, genuinely see that, and think that isn't a penalty, they don't deserve to be refereeing anymore, genuinely, because that is just about as clear and obvious as it actually gets. They need to get a grip. They need to sort it out, because it's making the game awful for fans. It's making the game awful for Manchester City, and this is not how it should be. It's not what it should be. I don't like VAR, but I will like it if it's useful. If it give that today, it's not hard, I'll probably start liking it if it gives those decisions. I'm not fickle. Football fans are fickle, but it needs to be fucking right, because it's currently absolutely useless. But we won 3-1. We won 3-1 in a game we didn't play well. Bournemouth, to be fair to them, were all over us. They were energetic. They played decent football, and we got to see how much of a difference Rodri has become to Manchester City. I didn't mention him actually in the individuals bit. Rodri, when he came on, was this rock of composure. He didn't give the ball away at all. I don't think. He was strong. He was physical. He was composed, and he's shown already that this guy that we bought after 3 games almost looks indispensable already. What a player we've got there. We've shown as well that we have the quality at least. Even if we don't play well. Today we were pretty clinical in front of goal. Not the most clinical, but we were pretty decent in front of goal. Much better than we were against Spurs, despite the VAR. And we carried on, and the reaction that Guardiola said, the most important thing is that if you don't get the thing that you need, make sure you react, and they'll still play positively. And we went and scored pretty much immediately after that VAR thing, which is the perfect reaction to it. Guys, I'm going to stop ranting. I'm happy with the result. Frustrated once again because of this nonsense. I don't like this uncertainty. Someone needs to sort it out. But guys, let me know in the comments what you make of that. We've won 3-1. Sterling has a goal. Sergio's got a couple of goals. We've got 7 points now. It's important 3 points and a decent 3 points. For now, though, thank you as ever to all the patrons who keep supporting us now. You're absolute heroes. I love you all. Absolute loads. If you've not subscribed yet, why the hell not? Click that subscribe button, because I hope I make good content for you all. Let me know what you think of the game in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and I will see you tomorrow. In a bit.